So here's exactly what I signed up for. A Nuzlocke run of Pokemon Emerald Imperium. Not just any Nuzlocke, this one has been redesigned to hurt me. Of course, as any Nuzlocke is, any feint equals death. We are allowed a total of 9 Dexnav recruits, 1 after every gym, and 1 right before the Elite 4. No items in battle. It is, well, at least the very first run is, a blind run. All abilities are randomized. It is hardcore, it's blind, and I only get 9 Dexnavs. And if they die, they're gone. If I die, I get to explain to chat how Spark is apparently a move that rock types learn now. No guides, no mercy, just vibes, bad decisions, and honestly, a growing list of regrets. So for my first recruit, I picked up Frillish, because let's be honest, I'm not here to lose to the first gym. It is great typing, immune to half the early threats. It just made sense. We named him Braddock after one of our viewers, and that's going to be the team going for this run. So if they die, it's a bit more personal. We train him up to level 7, and the wild encounters were honestly designed to kind of hurt us. Like, genuinely, half the mons we came up against, why are we weak? And yes, we did say scaled randomizations, but I'd have loved to seen a Zigzagoon or a Caterpie to just grind off of, you know? And while we were leveling up, Chad and I hashed out the finer details. What's fair, what's cheesy, and what rules we were gonna allow. With Braddock holding it down, I went straight for the rival fight. Honestly, no plans, and I was more than ready to lose the entire run then and there. But Braddock absolutely steamrolled them. May did not stand a chance. Back at the lab, Professor handed me some starter supplies, you know? Pokedex, some Pokeballs, honestly a lot of Pokeballs, and a little good luck soldier energy, and a lot more stuff that y'all will see. Then, in front of our home, is Mom. Just casually hands me a loot drop straight out of an RPG. Like, I'm still shocked that this is a thing in this game, but she gave me an infinite rare candy. Like, as an actual item. Infinite. As in, like, yeah, forever. And no. I am not cheating. It is in the game. I guess Mom just knows what's up. From there, we hit the wilds, start building the squad. First few encounters, total chaos. Abilities were nonsense, stats all over the place, and we were naming every mon after chat members. We got Mr. Yaxim, Rune, and a couple more friends just to follow us. Real team building hours, you know? Before heading out fully, I stopped by to see my dad. You know, the usual heartfelt Emerald moments. Except now, his slacking is just standing there, menacing me. Yeah, in this version, every gym leader has their ace standing next to them. Just chilling, waiting, reminding you of what's to come. And also, something I love, your lead Pokemon also follows you around, which sounds cute until it's Braddock floating right behind me like a haunted little jelly bean. Then came the part I was dreading, Wally's whole, let me catch this Ralts thing. But instead of sitting through that cutscene again, the game just fades to black and skips it. Honestly, 10 out of 10. Game of the year. And we continue getting a couple more team members. And just when I thought I'd get a peaceful stroll through the forest, a Devon worker runs up saying they're looking for a Pansage. And then boom, Team Aqua ambush. And the fight was honestly harder than I'd like to admit. The grunt leads with a Poochyena. I send out Braddock, who, by the way, has Electric Surge. And surely this won't come up in any meaningful way, right? We bubble beam the dog. It's looking like easy money. And then Braddock gets hits so hard I start hearing funeral music. Crypt Bite, because of course, Braddock drops into the red, and I panic switch into Mr. Yaxim, our lovely Campy with multi-skill, and he takes the switch and damage quite well. We are honestly looking really good because Mr. Yaxim, certified round boy, future MVP, and our defensive wall is just stepping in like, don't worry King, I got this, and throws out an ice shard. And I swear to God that Poochyena has to be living on 1. I swear this game is coded by stand-up comedians. One more ice shard takes care of it, and we move on to Carvana. I swap into SK the Sewaddle, figuring Razor Leaf would seal the deal, but as we're swapping in, Carvana immediately hits him with an Aqua Jet. Next turn, as we said, we're going for Razor Leaf, but we get bit first and flinch, Lovely. As another bite hits SK, drops him to 12 HP, and I'm bracing for disaster. I'm bracing myself for that flinch, but no flinch. And we clap back and Razor Leaf that fish out of existence. Team Aqua, handle. Braddock nearly died, SK got chewed on, and Mr. Yaxim is already carrying the team. I can almost see how this fight and all future fights are going to go from now on. After the Aqua fight, we head across the bridge and are getting ready to go to Rustboro as Dawn shows up. You know, the Dawn from Sinnoh. May says you're decent, she says. I need to see it for myself. So yeah, I guess we're doing this. She leads with Baneri. I send in Manina, our Tinkatink. We get fake out turn 1, classic. We're okay with that. Next turn, Mach Punch. Cool. This Baneri's got hands. We tank it, hit it back with Rock Smash. Baneri eats an Oran Berry. Throws another Mach Punch, and then bam! Second Rock Smash takes it down. Then she sends out her Piplup. And you already know where this is going. We hit it with Covet. Take its Oran Berry, chip it for about 30%. It bubble beams us down to 16 HP as we eat the Oran Berry we just stole. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, you know, we're fast. We got this. Another trade. We're still faster. I'm doing the math in my head and I'm like, oh yeah, we're winning this. There's no way in my head that this Piplup has any priority moves whatsoever. I'm gonna kill this Piplup and I'm gonna switch out. Now you might be going like, wait, why are you telling us your entire plan? You could just show us. Because Aqua Jet. Didn't even know it had Aqua Jet. Just like that, Manina's gone. First death of the run, not in the gym. A minor boss fight. Because of a speed lie. You know, he deserved better. Like, I don't know, probably a better trainer for one, who would switch him out in case priority, but haha, he got me. So I send in SK, who's not here to mourn, for sure, and Razor Leafs that Piplup straight into the dirt, Aqua Jet or not. And Nosepass enters. I swap into Mr. Yaxim, who gets hit with a gust, like he cares. Ice Shard, Watt effective, deleted. Dawn says I passed her roll test, but at what cost? After the Dawn fight, we made a box. Not just any box, a stupid box. Home of avoidable deaths caused by overconfidence and poor decision making by yours truly. Manina didn't have to die, but I didn't switch. And now he lives in a folder of shame. But we push on. Route 116 gives us slack off, and if you know, you know. Random abilities, meaning if this thing evolves into a slacking without Truant, it's basically a legendary. So yeah, I use the Dex Nav immediately. We name him Psycho, short for Psycho Card. Shout out to chat. Then in Rust Earth Tunnel, we run into a Wild Clink, who we name Aeolus. The team's coming together. Spirits are back up. And then we meet Roark, again from Sinnoh in Hoenn, just walking around like this is normal. He looks me dead in the eyes and says, I heard Hoenn trainers are weaker than Sinnoh trainers. Let's find out if that's true. He leads with Shield on. I open with Braddock. Bubble Beam nearly deletes it, but Sturdy keeps it alive and it hits back with Rock Tomb. Next turn, it lands another Rock Tomb before we finish it off, and Braddock is now -2 speed and very much limping. Then comes Cranidos, and I'm like, no way Braddock survives that. So I swap into Leuna the Barboach. He eats a Rock Tomb, drops to 26 HP, and then hits back with a Mud Bomb, nearly taking it out. And look, I was expecting the headbutt. I wasn't expecting that much damage, and Luna's gone. That is our second loss. He didn't even get to evolve. Kinda sad, because I was really looking for the Wiggly Whiskered King, but yeah, RIP. I then send him Mr. Yaxim, who Ice Shard cleans the Cranidos, because Mr. Yaxim, you know. And last up is Tyrants. It bites, we Ice Shard. It bites, we Ice Shard again. Luckily, I can't get flinched because I'm using a priority move, and eventually Tyrant drops. And the battle's over. Roark probably came in thinking Hoenn trainers are weak, and he might have been correct if we didn't have Mr. Yaxim. After handling Roark, we regroup in Rustboro, where we find a patch of grass. We catch Biz the Cubone and put together a team, and we're feeling good. Braddock, Mr. Yaxim, SK, Psycho, Rhea the Galarian Wooper, and Rune the Nickit. Solid coverage, good synergy, and I'm thinking we're ready. We step into the gym, and Roxanne is standing there with a full-size Nosepass right besides her, like a rock-type boss from a JRPG. She leads with Rhydon. I open with Escape. Razor Leaf hits clean, but since we didn't have access to the docks, I had no idea it was holding a Rindo Berry, so the damage gets cut in half. Still, we do drop it to half, and Rhyhorn fires back with a Rock Tomb. Drops SK to about 20% and lowers our speed. See, after what happened to Manina, there's no way I'm risking this. So I send in Rhea because I am a smart individual, hoping to absorb a hit. She eats a Rock Tomb on switch and gets her speed drop and goes for Mudshot and gets bulldozed. And just like that, we lose her. Rhea is gone. Knowing our speed is back to normal, I send it back in SK thinking we'll clean this up, but Roxanne switches into her own Galarian Wooper. This little girl is mocking me. We tag it on a switch with Razor Leaf, drop it to about 60%, and then switch into Rune, hoping to handle it with Snarl and, lower a little bit of damage. Wooper opens up with Acid Spray, drops our special defense hard. We Snarl, it drops to around 15%, then eats a berry back up to 40. Another Acid Spray, and we are down to half HP. We Snarl again, it lives on 1. The final Acid Spray hits, but we have our own berry, and we finish it off. An eye for an eye, you little lass. You take my Wooper, I take yours. Then she sends out Gligar. I send in the one man who never lets me down, Mr. Yaxem. He tanks a wing attack like it's a breeze, thanks to multi-scale. Ice Shard lands, drops Gligar to about 55%, it hits back with Bulldoze, lowering our speed. Second Ice Shard brings it to red, but it heals with a berry. Another Bulldoze. We eat our own berry, land the final Ice Shard, and it's down. Mr. Yaxem is now -2. Rhyhorn comes back in. We switch into Psycho, our Slockoff. He tanks a Bulldoze as I'm watching his HP melt. He gets off a Yawn, and after another Bulldoze, he's at 12 HP, so I switch to Rune, hoping to tank just one more hit. Rhyhorn hits with Horn Attack, Rune survives on 3 HP, Rhyhorn falls to sleep, and finally, we have some breathing room. Rune finishes off with 2 clean Snarls. Thank God it didn't wake up. We are exhausted, but honestly, I'm thinking the worst is over. The Nosepass hits the field, but see, I have been planning this fight all along. I've been saving Braddock just for this moment. He's at full HP, has Bubble Beam him and Absorb, both super effective. It should be a free win, but Braddock has Electric Surge. See, in case you forgot, Electric Surge boosts the power of all electric moves by 50%, and Roxanne's Nosepass uses Spark! It uses Spark. Braddock drops to 40% HP, and my entire game plan just detonates. We are no longer in control, we're in survival mode. I swap into Mr. Yaxem, calling the Spark. I fire off Magnitude 8. We drop the Nosepass into the red, but it heals with Berry Juice. It's back up to 70%, and then Bulldozes. Mr. Yaxem's speed drop, he's now too slow to stay in safely, but I have to risk it, so we go for another Magnitude. Roxanne uses Rock Blast. 1 hit, 2, 3. The 4th hit is a crit, and it doesn't stop! But somehow, and we are getting very lucky in this fight, Mr. Yaxem lives on 1 HP. He throws another Magnitude. Nosepass drops to red again. We do the calc. I shard should kill, but it is a roll, and I'm not risking Mr. Yaxem right now, not when I know that the 3rd gym is Watson, and Yaxem will be amazing for it. I look at the team. Rune is on 3 HP, but has Earth Eater, and if I go in on a Bulldoze, we're looking really good. And chat, especially Rune, is telling me to send him in, saying he's got this, but Spark will kill. Rock Blast will also definitely kill. Look at our Sewaddle, and I make the executive call. I send an SK. And of course, it uses Bulldoze. SK's HP drops, speed lowers, SK lives, but now he's slow, and on the next turn, Rock Blast kills him. we lose SK. A decision I could have changed, but now we're at 2 deaths, and the rest of the team is basically crawling. But now that there's no speed issue going on, I bring in Braddock one last time. We Bubble Beam, and Nosepass goes down. It's over. We walk out with SK and Rhea gone, but it could have been worse. So much worse. That's 1 gym down, and 4 recruits already lost. Manina, brave to the end, even when I should have switched. Leuna, our whiskered warrior, gone too soon. Rhea, taken by Roxanne's jealousy. And SK, our little bug that held the lie. We went into that fight confident. We're leaving limping. But the run isn't over. Next time we set sail for the next gym, carrying a personal message from Mr. Devon himself, meant for someone named Steven, whatever that means. If you enjoyed the drama, the close calls, and the emotional damage mostly dealt to me by myself, hit that subscribe button to follow the rest of this run. Drop a comment for the following, or to guess how long Braddock has left. This is Emerald Imperium, and I can promise you right now, it's only going to get worse.